Hello, adults. This is Pastor Mike, and I'm filming outside. The bumblebees are around, but I'm hoping that I won't get attacked while doing this little video for you. Last Wednesday, I taped and I posted a recommendation, a film recommendation. The film is called A Hidden Life. And what I did is I just muted the movie and then talked while it was playing. Well, apparently that's not kosher. So the Disney Corporation shut me down on that. So that's why you couldn't open it. That's why it wouldn't load correctly, why I couldn't move it into a place where it could more easily be viewed. So I'm not showing you the movie, but I will say a couple of things. A Hidden Life is a movie about someone, an Austrian, who just couldn't, because of faith reasons, just had a voice inside that said, you can't participate in being a part of the Nazi war machine. You can't. He had a lovely family. He loved his wife passionately. She loved him, but he just couldn't say Heil Hitler. He just couldn't become a part of the army. He offered to be, what do you call it? Well, he tried to be a conscientious objector and serve in another capacity, but they didn't accept that. It is not a short film. It's just about 3 hours long. So it takes a commitment of time. It is lush and beautiful. The Austrian landscapes and the farming scenes, it's just lush. I could watch the movie just with the sound turned off and just the beauty of it. I think it's a movie for our time. Are we going to be asked to do things, to say things, that we, in our conscience, cannot agree with? I'm very concerned. I'll be right up front that around election time, who knows what this country is going to go through. So I thought this would be, and which will put pressures on you and I. And so I thought this kind of a movie just kind of fits our situation. I mean, our situation is getting intense, I think. It is not an easy movie. But what is it like? We have these heroes. Oh, wow, that was really great that he stood up against the Nazis. Well, what was the cost? What was the ambiguity? Not really knowing, what was right or wrong, but just following the spirit within. The movie is called A Hidden Life. I believe I found it on Prime, Amazon Prime. I think it can be found on Netflix too. But I recommend it. What was it like for Jesus to go against the grain, to refuse to see things the way everybody else did, to speak his mind. What was it like for Martin Luther in his time? To his conscience drove him to say there are things messed up. So what's it like to be that dissenter? I mean, Martin Luther lived with a death as a very real possibility, and yet he kept going and kept going. And in my time, many of your parents' time, Martin Luther King, for him to keep going, even though his own home was bombed and who knows how many death threats he had, and yet keep going. Kind of on a side note along with this, I'm reading a book called On Tyranny. It's a thin book, 20 lessons from totalitarian regimes in the 20th century. So looking back at the last century to gain lessons for our own time. And I think I'm up to number 13 or 12 or something like that. And it said, talk to people. Just little human contact. Especially people who, might be on the fringe. So I put on my mask and I went to the grocery store today. And there was a black lady. And having read that chapter in the book today, I thought, I want to look for an opportunity just to say something. And I'm kind of that way anyway, so I'll talk to anybody. So anyway, I just made a couple, our 2 shopping carts passed in the store. So I just made a little comment. And lo and behold, we also kind of came together at when it was time to go back to our cars. And she looked right at me and said, "Have a nice day." I don't know what that meant to her, to have someone say something to her. No way to know whether it was meaningful or helpful or not. But I'm trying to do that more and more. Make contact with folks. I heard an ad on the radio today that these little kind of things help reduce suicide. Just little human contacts. Not just staying in our own little circle, but opening up to others. Okay? All right. So, A Hidden Life, difficult, challenging movie. Sure hooked me. So I recommend. I also recommend that little book, On Tyranny. Yeah, they kind of go together. Bye-bye.